Good evening everyone, very sorry for the delay on why the stream's not started or anything. There is no stream, something's gone wrong with the server and it's just a whole situation. I'm here, though I'm currently in qualifying. I'm not doing this live, which is new to me, so I'm going to have to remember to clip it after I finish, but yeah, hopefully everything works out well and I'm able to set up the account and such and all of that lovely stuff, and get it uploaded so everyone can watch it. But we'll move on from that. We are here in qualifying for grid 4, I think this is, or group 4. No stream, so I haven't got a title, but it is grid 4, and I don't really know what to say. I missed the start of qualifying. I had to restart my PS4 to see if that would fix anything, but it hasn't. So we'll just move on. Let's watch someone on their lap. I'm trying to find someone who's like furthest up the road on his outlap. The Williams Total P's is also on their outlap. I think Stumpy might be the one that's furthest up the road, so we'll follow along with him as he completes his lap in the Scarlet Red Ferrari. I watched him earlier in INL race, and I'm allowed to mention INL because the league is partnered with INL. It wasn't the most interesting of races. It was around France and it was quite boring, to be honest. I ended up playing Hangman with someone in chat because nothing happened. We'll move past that because to cross the line, the first person to set a lap, and it is Stumpy with a 31.4 to open out qualifying. We'll just get on fitted. There we go. As everyone comes across the line to finish their laps. I don't know who is where. Well, Rajaloon has just gone second fastest, and he's been displaced by Bryn. I'll call him IBM. I'll call him IBM because it's a long name. Jasper takes up P2. Stumpy still unbeaten at the top, but don't forget IBM has set that lap time on the mediums, and Hardy goes quickest of all. I don't know why that hasn't showed up, but in the Renault he did exceptionally well in the INL race. He won it by about 20 seconds because of penalties for everyone else. Invictus going off the track there. He's the slowest of the bunch right now. 7 people have set laps. Aledi went 6th fastest, and only one driver has opted for the medium tyres, that being IBM. He's currently I shouldn't call him IBM, call him Evor. Well, no, I'll just call him Mike because I don't know how to pronounce Ivor or Ivor. And I'm rambling, right? Let's follow along with Packer's not enough clean lap. Damon is, though. We'll watch him at the end of his run, currently in the 3rd sector in the beautiful Red Bull. I love the Honda engine sound. He's on those softs and he's actually coming into the pit lane, so he's not going to finish out that lap. What about Total P's? Yeah, he's in the 1st sector, but he's already invalidated it. That's not a good start to his qualifying session. We've got 6 minutes gone, 12 minutes to go. Everyone seems to be coming into the pit lane after the end of their laps, as we've got some drivers on their cooldown laps. We've got Aledi on his, Jasper's also on one, no one's on a lap, so well, that I know that's valid. We can watch Swip currently coming through the 1st sector, the snail corner as I like to call it. Turn 1, 2 and 3 and 4 I think it is, and then up towards the hairpin. It's a heavy braking zone through here, and he has gone purple so far. This is looking strong from him, but of course the game, in the last game at least, it was known to have glitches where it would say you're purple but you're really not. But we'll move past that because currently he's looking pretty strong, is Swip, so we'll see what his sector time is at the end of sector 2. It's a long lap. We're looking at the low 1 minute 30. He's gone purple again, 51.3. I don't quite know how quick that is in terms of Hardy's lap time. Hardy, by the way, is doing exceptionally well. He's over a second ahead of Stumpy. He is proving to be a very strong contender right now. We'll get an off-board shot. Never mind, we'll just look at the rear wing of the Red Bull car into the infamous hairpin where some big shunts have happened. Of course, in 2018, Max Verstappen dive bombed Sebastian Vettel and completely ruined his race. And of course, two Toro Rossos collided there, and it's a 131.2, still 9/10 back from Hardy. So either he had a very poor third sector, or he wasn't as quick through the first sectors. We can have a look. See, 23.9, 23.9. So yeah, he was down. He wasn't purple, but I don't know who is purple. It might not be Hardy. Most likely is. There we go. Now it shows that Hardy has gone purple. So who can we watch starting a lap right now? I think DJ Williamson. He's not putting a lap yet. He's about to begin on his as he crosses the line to start it. It says he's on an out lap on my screen. Now it doesn't. So we'll move through turns number 1 and number 2. It sharpens a lot. You're really going to have to come off the power when you think you can go on it. The corner suddenly just tightens up. So it's a very tough corner to get right. But he seems to be doing okay. As what is his first sector time? Well, he's just a little bit. He's actually on par with about Swip right now, who's currently in second position. So it's looking pretty decent from the Ferrari driver. His teammate Stumpy currently in third. Of course, teammates don't really matter. I do believe that they've just picked cars that they wanted. Interestingly enough, there's no Alfa Romeos, which seems to be a really popular choice of a car, but no one's gone for it. So that's interesting to see, as Williamson has gone purple again, setting similar sector times to Swip. So that's, I'm not too sure if he is actually purple through there, but we'll see at the end of his lap, as I'm trying to get an off-board shot, but we just can't find one, can we? No matter, as I think it's Invictus next. I'm not sure it is, yeah, but he's not on a lap. So I think it's Packer that might be next, or Giorno, but Giorno's not even come out of the pit lane yet. We'll see once we get there, because DJ Williamson going to cross the line. He goes second fastest. He's the second driver to break into the 1 minute 30, 6/10 back. As yes, it is Packer that's coming across the line next. He's done a 51.1 through the second sector. This could be a very strong time from him, and he is. They're all closing in on Hardy. No one's quick enough to beat him, but they're closing in on him. As there we go. Right as I say that, Damon beats his lap time and goes into P1 with a 130.1. Good time from him, as everyone begins to cross the line to finish their second run. I think that Stumpy's about to go across it next. MCR goes P4. Where can Stumpy put that Ferrari? He's not going to improve on that. 5/10 down. He's going to want to push again soon. Oh, Jasper's gone off the circuit there on his lap, and I think he wasn't actually pushing, but he's shot himself in the foot there. He can't complete that lap. Let's have a look. I think Mike is up the road next. No, it could be a lady. It is a lady, and he's currently on his lap. I've said currently about 18 times right now, but we'll move past it, because he's coming through the hairpin now. Boy, locking up heavy through there. That could have hurt him a little bit. He runs very deep on the corner, as braking just about at that white line there through the final turn, get the shortest run up towards the line, and he goes only a 10th quicker. It's not the best time in the world from him, but it is something. Total P's invalidating his time. He's got 7 minutes left to put in a lap, but he's gonna want to hurry up, as I think that was Invictus jumping up into 12th position, so ahead of a lady, behind Rajalon. As who could we find? It's on a lap right now. Pease has invalidated it. He's coming into the pit lane. Oh, Goldie's about to finish on the lap. Never mind, he's coming into the pits, getting pretty close to the barrier there. That could have been bad from him. I have no clue who's where. We'll follow along with Mike. He's actually not pushing on this lap, so we won't follow along with him. I think a lady's up next. He's not pushing. So everyone seems to be coming to their end, at the end of their second run. They're going to come to the pit lane and fit a new set of tyres, and that is Hardy breaking to the 1 minute 29s. and he improves on that lap time by quite some margin, 5/10 up on his previous time. It's a 29.8. Good time from him. That puts him on provisional pole with 6 minutes to go left in the session, but now he's got to get back to the pits. Everyone's setting their time on softs, so unless you're starting outside the top 10, you're probably gonna have to two-stop this race, because the soft tires are not very good around here. They don't last that long, and you only get a good pace for a couple laps. So yeah, really, guys like Goldie, Mike and Rajalon, who've done their laps on the mediums, they are probably going to try and start on them. Of course, Rajalon start being in 11th right now. It doesn't matter where he is. I mean, it does, but like, it doesn't matter that he did his laps on the mediums, because he's going to get a fresh set of tyres anyway, and that is at his discretion as to what he wants to use. I really butchered that one. James is on a lap right now. In the Mercedes, 14th place right now, 33.6. That is quite far off the pace, so he's going to want to get better on that lap. And he's proving so by, oh, never mind, he spun out. And can he keep it out of the barriers? He's done that, so he's saved it, but unfortunately, he spun the car, so he can't complete that lap. And I think Packer almost hit him on his outer lap. He's going to be one of the first to put in their lap time in presumably his final run. I think a Red Bull. Jono's still not come out of the pit lane, which I'm worried about, if he is actually going to come out of the pit lane at all. We'll have to find out, won't we? As who is on a lap? Swip is on a lap right now. He's 3/10 up on this one as well, so this could be pretty strong from the Red Bull. Could see him go up, maybe ahead of MCR, definitely ahead of DJ Williamson if he keeps this up, as now blitzing it down the straight, using all the air he can, presumably using all the fuel, keeping it in a straight line, braking it at the 100 meter board. He's taking that very nicely, keeping it out of first gear. It's not powerful anymore in this game. He had a very nice line through that, as now coming up towards the final corner, he misses his apex. That might lose him maybe half a tenth or so. As he crosses the line, he derated, and he ended up going 2/10 faster, so he lost time in that third sector. And look how close he is to DJ Williamson. There's hardly anything between them, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't get that done, as Kieran on a medium run, trying to look into the top 10 with that. He's on a 34.3. That is definitely not what you want to do. So Kieran on the back foot right now. He's got to find a lot of time if he wants to start in the top 10. His closest rival, Swip been disqualified from the session, so any lap time that he's done has been immediately discounted. But where is he? Like, what's he done? I'll check on the race director. He went the wrong way. Oh dear. Oh, there it goes. It shows up at the bottom actually. Well, that's his qualifying over. 2.5 minutes left in the session. I'm gonna have to clip it. I won't forget to do that, and I'll check in, but then I'll restart the recording. So I'll crop myself out basically to the point where we get towards the end of the formation lap. Just to give myself a little bit of a rest and get some water, go to the toilet, etc. Because I never actually get to do that. So it's nice that I'm recording this race and I'm not actually participating in it. We'll move past about me going to the toilet, because everyone coming out for their outlaps, they've got enough time, they'll make it to the end, but Packer might come into a bit of traffic. He's actually not pushing on this one, so he might just finish that lap. Trying to find someone who could be on a lap right now that we could follow. Rajalon's just started one, but we'd rather someone who's more into their lap. I guess we can follow Invictus for a little while. He's a 10th up through this first sector. DJ Williamson getting out of his way as he comes into this winding S's part. You can take this in 7th gear. You still have to keep it in 6th, because if you shift it down from 7th gear, you actually lose quite a lot of time. So just keep it in 6th gear, take it flat out. But you can actually go in 7th, and he's invalidated that lap time, so he's gonna have to stop pushing now and try again later. And of course, that is not going to be much later. Stumpy's on a lap right now. He is currently on a medium lap actually. That's quite strange considering he did his best lap And Jorno's just left the session, so he's not going to do any time at all. Don't quite know why, but Stumpy down on his time. I don't think he can improve on his soft lap. You'll see some drivers are going to try to do this, but they're not going to make it work, I don't think. Goldie still can find some time, but he's on the soft tyre, so he's not committed to that strategy. Kieran did end up improving on his lap by quite a significant margin. He ended up beating Mike in the end, which is good from him, but Mike is on a set of softs, and Hardy retires. He thinks he's done enough for pole. To be honest, I think he could have done quite enough for pole as well. He's 3/10 clear of his nearest rival Damon, who could actually still improve. This is a really competitive grid though. I will give it to them. Like, they're really close together. I hopefully this grid stays the way it is and I can commentate over them, because it's actually really nice. Total P's hasn't put in a lap time. He's currently to the first sector. The checkered flag waves, so you cannot start another lap. I think James, no, it's not James, it's Goldie, who's the furthest up the road. He was purple through the second sector. This could be an astonishing lap time from the Mercedes driver coming out of nowhere. He's the dark horse, and Packer retired from the session. Aledi also retires from the session. He's got cars behind him. That could be quite controversial. You shouldn't do that when there's cars behind you. But we'll forget about that, because Goldie is about to finish his lap. He's got a racing point behind him, I think that's MCR, so we'll get him ready. As to cross the line, it is Goldie. What's he going to do? He's going to go fourth fastest, just ahead of MCR, but MCR's improving on this lap time. He's going to get the shortest run up to the line and go straight back ahead of him as James LT. Oh, James goes in 6th place. That's good from him. As there goes someone else. I think it was Invictus. Up into there. He'll follow up into 8th. Stumpy right now on the medium tyres. Can he improve? Yes, he can. He's going to start in 8th position if he can hold on to it. Jasper's invalidated his lap time. What about Mike? Mike's invalidated his. I think, you know what? I think Stumpy's got this. No one else can set a lap time, and I think that is the end of the qualifying session, as we just wait for Jasper, unfortunately missing out on that top 10 start. But luckily for him, he gets to have a free choice of tyres, unlike anyone starting in the top 10. If you don't know how it works, what happens is, if you're starting outside the top 10, then you can have a free choice of tyres. You can choose whichever one you'd like, and it's going to be fresh, unlike if you start in the top 10. The tyre you qualified on is the tyre that you have to go into the race with. So once I read out the results, I will cut myself out, and then I'll get underway again. We just wait for Jorno for some reason. He's still in the pits. I think we might have to restart the lobby here, but we've got 30 seconds left, and I think it will actually restart. Nope, the lobby is broken, I think. That's a shame. Yet more glitches. Thank you. There we go. After a long wait, we can finally read out the qualifying results. Hardy on pole by just under 3/10 actually. To Damon starting alongside him. Total P's coming out of nowhere to take P3, then P4 for Packer, P5 for MCR. It's a good time from him. Goldie starting in 6th, 7th for James, and 8th is DJ Williamson. Stumpy starting in 8th. No, he's not. He's starting in 9th on the medium tyres. That is crucial for his race. Invictus starting in 10th. Jasper missing out on the top 10, starting 11th. Rajalon, is it Rajalon? I think it is. Rajalon starting in 12th. 13th for Kieran. 14th for Mike. Aledi is in 15th. And Giorno didn't put in a lap time. And Swip was disqualified. So this is going to be the end of my commentary until we get back underway at the end of the formation lap. Separated at the top, aside from Swip, who's close by to Aledi. This is what happens in races though. Drivers just get spread out. You know what, that's okay. You can't have side-by-side battling throughout the entirety of the race. Swip runs very deep into the corner there. He might have actually gotten a little tap from Packer there, as he's going to let him by, presumably to come to the pit lane. Or no, he's just letting him by. He knows that Packer's the quicker car. He's on the fresher tyres, albeit the hard tyres, and with 2 laps, well, 3 laps now. Oh no, 2 laps. 2 laps tenure. Is that... No, I think that's Jasper gone around. That was Jasper, yeah. I thought that was Hardy that had spun. Swip doesn't try to fight him. Swip really... He let go at the end of the back end of the car there. That was quite worrying from him there. Seems to have held it. Oh, Packer getting a bit excited on the throttle. He has held it though, and he's going to chase down Aledi for P8. Aledi, of course, hasn't pitted so far in this Grand Prix, and you can see the difference that the tyres make. He's already lost 4 seconds to Damon once he let him past earlier on. Let's have a look. Packer in the DRS range. You need that 1 second window to get the drag reductive system. It allows for you to open the rear wing to reduce drag, and you'll see it popping up about now. That means he's activated the system. Oh, Aledi's going to go defensive to the inside. Stumpy's pulled into the pit lane. So he's made Packer go around the outside. Jasper's not having a good run, as he's now fallen behind Invictus. But Aledi did well to defend there from Packer, and I'm assuming that Packer would not be happy about that, as he pulls to the inside for the 4th turn number 1. Will Aledi send it up the inside? Is he going to have enough of letting people through and losing time? So he's trying to fight it, and he swings it around the foot and around the second corner. That could have been bad. MCR gets past Swip. MCR's running in 12th. He lost out to James and all that, but he was running pretty high up in the beginning of the race. As Stumpy's come up behind Goldie in P10, so he's around about where he started, of course. And then he does have to pit. Total P's will have to pit again in the middle of the race. He'll probably come out behind MCR, but it'll be on much fresher tyres at a much quicker rate, so he'll probably dispatch of the Racing Point driver pretty quickly once he does decide to come in. He's still only got 4 laps on those tyres, so I think he's going to be going for a long time yet in this Grand Prix. When is Kieran and Mike, when are they going to come to the pit lane? Will they come in now? They've done 10 laps. They're coming up to 11 laps on these medium tyres, so you'd think that they'd come in sooner rather than later. Kieran's going to stay out. Well, what about Mike though, as Total P's gets past Rajalon in the hairpin. Mike stays out an extra lap. What about Rajalon? Rajalon is going to come into the pit lane. His teammate has stayed out. He's decided he's going to dive it in and get a fresh new pair of white wall tyres, the hard tyres of course, as now the gap is just 1 second from Damon to Hardy. Hardy struggling with pace on these hard tyres. They're just about 1 lap older, than Damon's, so he'll be on the back foot just a little bit, but hopefully he won't let that trouble him. It is one thing to catch up to a guy, it's another thing to overtake them, and this is for position. Neither of them have to make a pit stop later in the Grand Prix, so Hardy can defend with all his might. There's no losing, well I guess there is losing out, because you're going to lose time to Total P's, who will then pit and catch up to you later in the Grand Prix. Yeah. I will say though that Hardy, Damon, Packer, all those guys who started on the soft tyres are going to struggle towards the end of the race. Their hard tyres are going to be a lot older than the likes of Stumpy and Radulon and Kieran and Mike once they eventually come into the pits. Once they eventually pit lane, that's a new one. Speaking of coming into the pit lane, is Kieran going to take this opportunity to dive into the pits? Yes, he will. What about Mike? Who's going to get the jump? It's 4 seconds flat between those two in the pits once they come in, so we'll see once it all irons out. As Total P's also coming to the pit lane. What is... Total P's is coming in a bit early. He could have done a lot more laps on those fresh soft tyres. He was probably just trying to run the same strategy as Kieran and Mike, but he's going to be way back. If he stayed out longer and used up more of those tyres, well, he leaves the pits and he's much further back than he'd have hoped to be. Gap has roundabout stayed the same, but Stumpy. Oh wait, no, the gap is increased between Kieran and Mike. Most notably, there's 3 cars in between them. So that is not going to help him, as now there's a car spun around. I think that's James that's gone. Yeah, James spun the wrong way. Well, he's actually spun the right way, but he's really struggling right now. He's got it in the wrong fuel mixture. Not fuel mixture, ERS mode. He puts it down to medium and he's going to continue on with his race. Hardy back into the lead of the Grand Prix though, after everyone else pisses. Do apologise. I'm a bit tired today. I was yawning so much in the INL stream. That might be combined with the fact that it was a very boring race. It was only like 10 people, one of them left, so 9 person race. We'll move past that. Aledi now going to be overtaken by Stumpy up the inside towards the hairpin. Is Aledi maybe going to try and defend it, dive down the inside? No, he won't. Stumpy locking up the tyres as he moves into P6. Aledi's going to want to think about pitting soon. And yeah, as I say that, he comes into the pit lane. Look at his ERS. You actually lose out on ERS power once it gets to around about 20%, maybe 10%. And it's kind of like a recovery mode where the engine says, hey, I've not got much left in me, I'm just going to cut the power so I can survive a little bit longer. So really you want to save as much ERS as you can to get an overtake done, but once he's going to be in clean air, well, I say he's going to be in clean air, he's got James just ahead of him, and they're going to come out at exactly the same piece of tarmac. Oh my word. As this could go bad. What's he going to try and do here? Aledi's tyres are fresher than James's. James did heat them up quite a lot, but wow, I thought he was going to come out in clear air, as in the pit lane he's actually been able to save up a little bit of ERS. Is he going to send it? Don't send it. Yeah, that was wise to not do that. You've been struck by Roman Grosjean. Sorry, I just imagined him doing something like Roman Grosjean would, but luckily for everyone, he didn't do that, as with DRS, Stumpy is closing in on Goldie right now. Goldie's not using ERS, he's hardly got anything left, as now to the outside goes Stumpy, coming towards the hairpin. It's Ferrari against Mercedes, a legendary battle, as Stumpy makes a switchback move work, and oh, he drops it a little bit on exit, and he went down into first gear, and that's probably why you can't really build the revs as high in first gear. You're going to want to short shift if you go down there, and that lost him a bunch of time, and it could have also cost him the position that he could have made up a lot quicker. Total P's puts in the fastest lap. He's currently running in 8th position. He's going for the mediums towards the end of the Grand Prix. That is something definitely doable. He's used 2 cars. Has he used? Yeah, he has used 2 comps. I'm just gonna check if he's used 2 compounds of tires. He has. He did soft, medium. Right, okay. He's allowed to do that. Yellow flags in sector 3. It's James on his way into the pit lane, I think. So that might have been a little bit of a shunt between Aledi and himself. But we won't focus on that. Stumpy's got to get him here. He's closing in on him. James retires from the session. Unfortunate from him. He's our first retirement. Someone's left. DJ Williamson left the session after he spun himself earlier on in the Grand Prix. So I guess we can effectively count him as a DNF. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. As who should we follow here? I guess we'll just stay with this battle because this should be an easy as you like overtake. He's moved to the outside of Goldie. Goldie tucks into the slipstream, not an easy DRS, and he cannot fight that. Look at the speed that the DRS gives him. And now with that dirty air from the brake ducts of Stumpy, he's gonna lose out to P6. Good move from the Ferrari driver, nice and tidy. No bull crap with him as Pease moves ahead of Mike. He's on a charge. He's going to try and catch Goldie next, and then Stumpy, and he's going to continue to move his way up the field. But I don't know if it's going to be enough for him. He started in 3rd position, so this could be a very strong strategy, or it could be a big strategical blunder from him. We can only find out as we're just about over the halfway point of the Grand Prix. We crossed that on lap 14, so we still got a little bit over under half of the race to go. Still plenty of opportunities for a shunt, and so could have a big scandal. That'd be fun. And I do have to remember to clip this race after I finish it, because that would be a complete waste of time for me. I should be talking to myself in my bedroom I should be talking to myself in my bedroom for an hour or so, and then it doesn't get saved. As I guess we could just follow Pease, who's gone off, and that's his race done. There's no way he's gonna recover from that. He might have damage, I don't know, it won't show me. Pease has lost out to Mike and Rajalon, and his speed that he had, it's all gone down the drain. I'm glad I just caught that. I said, oh, let's watch Pease as he tries to catch, but no. Unfortunate from Total Pease there. Is he going to come into the pit lane? No, he's not. I don't think there's damage enabled. I haven't seen him will get damage, but then also Giorno did pit early on in the Grand Prix. I haven't really seen much from Giorno. It's nice to see no traction control. A lot of these drivers are using traction control, I think. Which is, you know what, play the game how you want to play it. I'm not here to judge anyone. I personally don't use traction control. I use ABS in line though. But you know what, you can do what you want, and people who have a go at you for just playing the game how you want to play are some of the worst people. To be honest, you know, it's not their game. They can play how they want it. You can play how you want it. But realistically, if you're one of the best drivers in the world and you're still using ABS, you know, I think it might be time to turn it off, because in this state of the game, it is classed as pretty overpowered. Pease right now trying to make a recovery drive after spinning at this very corner on the last lap. He's caught back up to Rajalon, and now towards the inside. Rajalon's not going to fight him there. The Haas driver just lets the Williams through for P8 right now. Pease has shown some great pace, but that is mostly down to the alternate strategy. I think Kieran has caught right up to Packer here. Giorno's in AI mode. Don't quite know why, but Kieran has probably been the quickest driver today in my eyes. Or Hardy's been really strong. Pease was good. Packer's been strong. Damon's been strong. All of the top 5 guys, I'd say, have been consistently some of the best drivers right now. I think that Yeah, I think Jasper's gone again. Seems to be going pretty slow through there, so yeah, I think he's lost the car somewhere. Well, presumably just coming out of the corner. This could be a nice fight shaping up as Kieran actually makes a bit of a mistake there, and now he's got the Alpha Tauri car inside of him. That is the lap car of Giorno, as he's gonna have DRS on Packer. Packer's lost out so much to Damon, the IRO drivers. I don't know if that's a team or a league. I'm not gonna comment on it much more. But Damon has actually dropped out back from Hardy. Still got 11 laps. They're coming up to 10 to go at the line here, so still plenty of time for these guys to make overtakes. Kieran can get past Packer for P3. He's had a really good day, and he's on much fresher hard tyres. Credit where credit is due. DJ Williamson comes into the pit lane. That's his AI car, unless he rejoined, which I don't think he did. So, when will Kieran strike? He can strike at any moment, really, I guess. Of course, you cannot win the race on lap 19. That is a philosophy I do live by. Is that you can't win the race before the race is over. So like, and I just apply it to whatever lap it is. So like, oh, you can't win the race on lap number 7, but you can certainly lose a race. So you really do have to be careful. Some would say just go for it, you know, just be an idiot sometimes. But honestly, it's smart to follow behind someone. Although in saying that, it is very difficult to do so. In this game, dirty air is so much more prevalent, so much more effective, and that is quite a nice feature because it makes the game more realistic, and that's what a lot of people want. A lot of people want laser scan tracks as well, and just improved handling models and all that good stuff. In all of this as well, Stumpy's caught up to Kieran as pretty strong, so Stumpy's driven really well today actually. It's going to put him to the test. He's making the alternate strategy work. He's come from, I think, P9, starting on the medium tyres, running later into the Grand Prix, and now he is on the hard tyres. He's been able to push a lot harder than the softer hard runners have been. They've been tyre saving throughout a lot of this race, especially on lap number 20. The hard tyres are probably at the point where they're going to start to go off soon, but they're still at working temperature. They're still going to be fine for a little while. It's quite late up again, early night tonight. It's weird not streaming, to be honest. I wish I was streaming this race, because then I could just end it. I don't have to upload it and like spend a lot of time doing that, because it will take a long time for a 45-minute video to upload. And that is a fact. As now Stumpy is in with DRS range of Kieran down this straight. He's not going to send it, is he? He's going to send it from a long way back. Double lock up. Kieran leaves him in the room. That was an audacious move, and Kieran almost drops it on exit there. I don't think he would have been expecting that one. Stumpy just wants to get a move on. He wants to get up into into P3 there. I will not be defeated by the tickle in my throat. Look at this. Wow. Damon has been able to catch up to Hardy. He's not going to send it there. I think Hardy's beginning to struggle with pace. The hard tyres might go off at 14 laps old. You never know. It could be the case. Damon is on fresher tyres, but then again, they're losing a lot of time. They're actually gaining a lot of time to Packer and Co behind. But this right here, the battle for the lead of the Grand Prix, Hardy and Damon. I wish I had a co-commentator. They make the races a lot more fun. But then again, I do like doing it by myself. I get to speak when I want and talk about whatever I want. We'll move past that because Hardy is going to feel the pressure from Damon down the straight. He's not going to fight him, is he? No, he will not. He's got a lot less ERS though than Damon to play with, so he's on the back foot in that regard. He's been pretty good at saving ERS from what I saw in the LOE, in the INL stream, and also earlier on in this race. Pease finds a way past Mike, and now he's got his sights set on Goldie, so he's back to where he was. But unfortunately for him, he could have been a lot higher up, because those medium tyres would actually they'd still be in working temperature. They'd be fine for the time being. They might go off towards the end of the race. They still have 7 laps left in this Grand Prix, so it's far from over. He's still got a long way to go, and that means for Hardy still plenty of opportunities to get past Damon here. He just has to stay within the 1 second gap that he needs for DRS. Then he can use that on the back-to-back DRS straights, which are very handy around this circuit because it means he can follow easier. And then if he doesn't get the move done into turn number 1, he's always got the turn 4 hairpin, and he's got plenty of overtaking opportunities throughout the circuit, bold or not bold, but you'd expect him to be very, very powerful through here. I almost just spilt my water all over my bed. That would have been disastrous for me, because then I'd get distracted and I'd have to stop speaking, and he is very far back from Damon at this point in time. Activating overtake mode, then immediately shutting it off. Damon was not even using overtake there mode at all. Overtake mode there at all, as Stumpy to the outside of Packer for P3 of the Grand Prix, the final spot on the rostrum. He makes the move around the outside. He's going to have the inside line, quite like what Packer did on someone else earlier. He gets the move done coming onto the straight. He hasn't got DRS though. Packer has that function for him. He's going to blitz it down the straight towards turn number 1. He makes the move up the inside. Can Stumpy fight him back? Maybe get a switch back coming to turn number 2. That's what he's going to do. They make even more contact. There's no room at the end for either of these drivers. Kieran's just watching. He's got the best seat in the house at the moment. But Stumpy moves ahead of Packer for P3. Is Packer going to send it down the inside? No, he won't. Oh, he gives him a little bit of a nudge, and that puts Stumpy out of shape. He doesn't capitalize on that very well, but now he's going to try and hold him around the outside. No, he can't get that done. So Stumpy moves into P3 in this Grand Prix. The fresher hards coming to his aid, and now the Ferrari moves ahead. He's made this alternate strategy work to a treat. He's come from P9 all the way up into P3, and now Kieran maybe could try and follow him through, as his tyres are a lot fresher than Packer's. But of course, with the luxury of DRS for Packer on this next straight, it's not going to be easy for Kieran. None of these guys have much ERS to play with. Kieran burns it all up through here. He's going to have to disable it. Is he going to send it? That would be a pretty questionable move if he sent it from that far back, considering Packer also broke quite late himself. Goldie and Mike having a nice little duel here. Mike cannot get the best of Goldie though, as those two move on lap 24. 5 to go in this race. We're getting to the dying stages. I'm beginning to need to use the loo. Jono's left it in AI mode. Jasper's not having a good race today. Invictus has also had his fair share of incidences. Swip is just having a nice time, trying to set a fast lap of the Grand Prix. I guess I should just stop talking about everyone in the race. But we will talk about Total P's, what this race could have been for him. It could have been so much more. Definitely would be in a fight for a podium position. At this point though, his tyres would start going off, and it'd be a lot more difficult for him to to defend or get past or whatever he'd be doing, but of course that's all hypothetical because he unfortunately lost the car at this very corner that he's just coming through now. Seems to have held it this time, but unfortunately that's just how stuff turns out, and you can't control it. As well, Packer closed in on Stumpy heavily there. Stumpy loves locking up at that corner. He's been doing it all day. As Mike, oh, Goldie spun Mike there. That's not what you like to see. They're having a good fight. I'm gonna need to get some water, I swear. I'll back in a moment, everyone. Hello everyone, I'm back. Sorry about that, I did just have to go because it's better for the stream if I'm not coughing and dying, and Jasper, I think, has lost it again. Unlucky for him, he's not had a good race at all. He's down in last position right now. It seems like he was decently quick though. He just needs to iron out those mistakes that he's making. That is the case for a lot of drivers. They're pretty decent, but they just spin out a lot. As Packer is about to get out of lose DRS range of Stumpy, and that's going to be detrimental for his defense against Kieran. Kieran could really capitalize on this. I'm actually not going to check the penalties like I was earlier with the INL stream, as I think Jasper's gone again. I don't think the safety car is on. If it's an evaluation race, or I think these are just pre-season races. But if it were that, then that wouldn't be very good for them. Yeah. Sometimes I just lose my train of thought. I get distracted by something or other in my room. Like, I'm playing with my COVID mask right now. I'm just feeling it. I know that sounds weird, but it's true, okay? Just don't judge me or I will cry. As with the DRS open, he's using up all the overtake he can. Packer is defenseless right now to hold on, but he's still going to dive towards the inside. Kieran, what's he going to do? He's going to have to hold him around the outside, making a switchback move, looking to the inside on exit, but that then turns into the outside line. He can't get the move done. There's a little bit of contact between those two. That puts Packer out of shape. Kieran backs off just a little bit there so he doesn't get an unfair move, and look at that, he's weaving down just straight, just a little bit, letting him know, hey, I'm faster than you, mate. You might want to let me by. Maybe I can fight Stumpy, but you know, it's inevitable that Kieran will get past because he's got DRS. Packer does not. So, and also he has the luxury of much fresher tyres that he can still dispose of. They're still definitely within working temperature, and they're going to be perfectly fine. Someone who's not going to be perfectly fine, but he's still catching these guys, fighting for P4 now. It is total Ps. This race has gone from not the most exciting to being pretty... This is a very good race to commentate over. I've actually had a lot of fun. Jasper did end up putting on the soft tyres. As I dropped my mask. So Kieran could actually end up having to defend from total Ps rather than attacking Packer. But I do think within the next final lap, the final lap is going to be tough for Pease to hold on, but he's still catching the back of Kieran now. He's using up all the ERS he can. He's got barely anything left. He checks, he has a look on the inside. He has a look at the situation. There's a spinning car. I think that might be Invictus again. He's also had not the strongest of showings. He's in 13th place right now, way out of the points. As a good exit from Total Peas. He ends up getting a warning though. That could be poor for his ending result. As that is a 3 seconds added onto his race time. He can't get past Kieran. He's going to look up the inside, coming into turn at number 2. It's Williams on the inside, Haas on the outside, and now that switches to Williams on the outside, Haas on the inside, coming up out of the corner and towards the hairpin. They run side by side. Kieran loses out there, and he lets Total Peas go through. Maybe he can follow once he overtakes Packer. And oh, he gives him a little nudge. He gives Total P a little bit of a push there. He was a bit anxious to get going again. That puts Total P's out of shape. Makes him lose a little bit of time to Packer. I'm just getting all the coughs out my system towards the end of the race. As Total Peas he's got to get the move done right here, right now on the straight. Use up all of the ERS he saved. He saved quite a bit actually, using it on exit, but you can see how fast it drains. It drains so quickly in this game, but he's just going to keep it on. It's last lap. He's got to do what it takes. We're not going to show Damon winning the race. As now down the inside, no, Damon has won this race. We'll go on board with Hardy as he crosses the line. He takes the win. 2 wins in one day for Hardy. Good showing from him as Stumpy takes up P3, the final spot on the podium. Packer ends up in P4. Kieran overtakes him on penalties. Total P's down in P6. And that is the end of the race. What? Not everyone finished. Everyone's just left. I think the entire lobby has just crashed there. Well, that's the end of the race. Thank you everyone for tuning in with me. I'll get this uploaded as soon as I can. We'll have the full results here. No, we won't. We're just gonna lose connection to PSN.